Hello, my name is Christopher, and today I'm going to show you how to install passwordpusher v2 on your CasaOS or ZimaOS. I actually got a comment from the creator, so they said they made a lot of changes, and I wanted to update the video. So, stay tuned. So passwordpusher makes it to where you can easily share sensitive information, and you can put it into the text area box, and then you can set it to where you can restrict it from days or how many views you've had on it, and then it will delete it or deactivate it. So you can easily go to the GitHub and you can see what it is. You can look at the source code and you can see how it works. It does have a full audit trail. It's self-hostable. They also have a actual production version to where I think they charge for it, but you can support them there if you'd like. You can see that it's in 31 languages. It's encrypted at rest. So it's a pretty nice product, and I'm going to get to going over the Docker Compose. So now I'm going to start on Big Bear CasaOS. There will be a link down in the YouTube description to get to it. So you can you can go to Big Bear CasaOS. You can go to the apps. Now, one thing that I did change a while ago was I've been working on a system to where you can go into Big Bear Universal Apps, and this is where the source of truth is for all the apps. And I have a whole pipeline set up to where it goes to all different kinds of app stores. So CasaOS, Portainer, Runtippy, Dockage, Cosmos, and then Umbrel. You can see the apps here, and you can go into them and look at them. These are not going to be CasaOS formatted apps. They are just generic ones that the pipeline reformats to each app store. So if we go back over to Big Bear CasaOS, and we go to over here, and you can see that it does pull request from Big Bear Universal Apps. So that's where it does that. So I'm going to go up to the search and type password, and you can see passwordpusher right here. This is V1, and then V2. There was a change to where it made it to where MariaDB and MySQL are not supported anymore. So I decided to make a V2. So you can go in here and you can go into Docker Compose. So here's some things about V2 and then the new deployment. You can read that. So the app name is Big Bear pwpush V2 services, and then the first service underneath the services is called Big Bear pwpush V2. The container name is going to be the same, the image, and you can see right here I don't use latest tags. I try to use the actual versions so we know what exact version you're on, and you don't get it to where the developer pushes to a latest tag and then it messes up your whole system because you didn't update correctly the way they wanted you to. So it's better to stay on versions. So the restart policy is unless stopped. So that means if you stop it for any reason, it will not try to restart. But if it fails or any other reason, then it will try to restart. And then the environment variables right here, and you can see the database URL. This is how it connects to this service down here. And I did set a password as a UUID v4, so you can see right here. So you can set the expire after a default to 1, 2, 3. These are the defaults that get set in the actual select box. So you can see volumes down here. The left side is host. The right side is the container. So the ports, so 5101, that's on the host side, and then on the container side is 5100. Do not change the container side. Same goes for the volume up here. So now the network, I put a network together, and you can see that it's down here in networks, and it's a bridge network. So you can see that this one, the DB is in the same network, so they can talk to each other. So you can see that the user, the password, the DB, I wouldn't change any of this, and it's all set up. So when you do update, you'll normally update from Big Bear CasaOS unless there's a major version to where I have to actually release a whole new app for that major version, because some developers change it a lot, and I don't want anybody's apps to break. So the CasaOS information, the architectures that the Docker image supports, the main service, you can see that it's the same as up here, right here. And then the description, tagline, the developer, the author, and then the icon. You can see that I put some tips right here, and you can go ahead, and if you're on V1, you can also do the data migration right here from MariaDB to PostgreSQL. And then this is the host port, which is 5101, and you can see that it's up here on the left side. So that's a little bit about the Docker Compose. So now we're going to install passwordpusher v2, and this is actually the fun part because it's just one click and then it's up. So if you go into the App Store right here, you can go to search and type password, and you can see there's two. There's the legacy one, which is v1, and then v2 right here. You can go just say install, and you can see the before install right here. This is what I showed you in the Docker Compose, and you can go to next steps. And then you can continue in background. What this is doing is it's downloading the Docker image with the registry, getting extracted, and getting it up with Docker Compose underneath. So it's using the Docker engine. So it does take a little bit to get the two services up. And now you can see it's up. You can see the icon lit up, so that will let you know that it's actually up. You can also go into Dozzle right here, and you can go to pwpush 2, and you can see that it is fully up. So if we go back over to CasaOS, go up to the top right, you can open into the web app. So you can go into actually the UI and see it. You can go to the tips, and you can edit the tips right here. You can go in the settings right here, and you can change some of these if you'd like, but I wouldn't change anything unless you know what you're doing with the Docker image, because if you change this and you press save, it might actually be grayed out because there's something wrong. And if that happens, you can go over to Dozzle, and you can go to each service, and you can see the logs, and you can see actually what happened. So you can go in to over here again, and you can check for updates. This sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Sometimes if you need updates from Big Bear CasaOS, you need to actually restart. Same thing happens with the default store too. It seems to be a bug. So uninstall, restart, and power off and on. So that's how you install passwordpusher v2. Hello, I just wanted to pop in here real quick and tell you how much I appreciate all my subscribers and also you watching this video. So it takes a lot of time to make all these videos and also maintaining all the open source projects that go along with all these videos. So like Big Bear CasaOS, Big Bear Video Assets, Big Bear Scripts, they all take almost daily maintenance. So if you would, please consider donating. Very much appreciate it, and it helps me continue to be able to help as many people as possible be able to do all this. So my goals in each one of these videos and each one of the things that I make is to make it extremely easy for anybody to do it, and it takes a lot of time to make that happen. So if you would, please consider donating, and also you can join the Big Bear Club and continue donating. So thank you very much, and let's get back to your video. So now we're in the admin panel. So you can see stats right here. You can go into the admin users, regular users, administrators, and the data explorer. So the users, pushes, the audit logs, and this is your Postgres database. So you can go to the audit logs here once there's some, and then blobs, attachments, and varying records. So that's about the admin panel. So we can go ahead and go over here to back to app. So now we're on actually the app now. So you can go up here and you can see passwords, files. You can choose a file and then share it in this link that you set. URLs, QR codes, and you can go ahead and go over to passwords again, and you can set the expiration. So 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, all the way up to 90 days. So you can set 1 day, and you can put how many views you want to actually link to use until it expires. You can go all the way up to 100 views. You can set a passphrase. So when you go to the link, the user actually has to have the password to get into it. You can set a name, and that'll be showed on the dashboard, notifications, emails. You can set a note. So if we go ahead and just type in something random, you can also generate a password right here, and this will replace the testing text that I just typed in. So you can say generate, and you can see that it generated a random one. You can also go ahead and change the password generation, so kind of like a password manager, to where you can generate the passwords. Exit. If I just do testing there, and then you can go ahead and see the additional options right here. So you can say use a one-click retrieval step, allow immediate deletion, so you can allow the user to actually click one button and delete it. So if I go ahead and just do testing 1 2 3 and testing note, so you can see I put in a name and a note, and I'm gonna say push it. So now you get a secret link, you get a QR code that you can print and share. You can see the optional message right here, and then to where you can copy it and you can share it in like text, and then it shows the important notes that 1 day, 3 views. And if we go ahead and we just go ahead and copy it, and then we open up a new tab, go to it, you can see click to here to proceed, and you can see that it's grayed out right here, so you need to click it, and you can see that password that we're sharing to this user. You can copy to clipboard. You can also delete this secret now. The secret has 1 day and 3 more views, so you can just delete, and now it's gone. So if we go back in there, and you can see that if we go back to the actual dashboard, you can see the dashboard. It's an expired link right here. So you can see the views, the 1 day, and deletable by users, yes, which we just deleted it. You can see the activity log down here, and pretty neat. If we go back into the administration and we go to Data Explorer, pushes, you can see it right here, and you can see the audit log. So that's how Password Pusher works. So there you have it, Password Pusher V2 installed and working. So this solution makes it where you can share files and passwords or secrets or something with your family if they're out of town and you need to get them something real quick. Now with security, you always need to look over it yourself. Look over the source code. It's open source, so you can see your security posture and figure out if you like it or not. Don't just trust anybody on a YouTube video. Actually look at yourself. So If you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel by signing up for Big Bear Club. You can donate, and that very much helps the videos and also helps me keep up with all this open source products that I support. Now, if you want to support Passwordpusher and the development of it, you can go on the website and you can go to pwpush.com. And they have pricing, and this is a hosted solution instead of you hosting it yourself. So that's normally how open source projects are supported. They have a hosted solution and a self-hosted solution. But if you prefer either one, you can do that. So stay tuned for more. And also, I haven't been making videos, and I know, but I'm back to making videos, and I'm looking forward to starting up some more on AI and stuff like that. So stay tuned for more.